Hello everyone, you are welcome to Doopsy MCT. Today we are going to look at how to cut 8 pieces flared skirt. So this is an instruction about how to cut 8 pieces skirt. You can say it's the theory part of how to cut 8 pieces flared skirt. The measurement we need for this skirt is, we need the waist, the 40, hip is 44, and we need the knee length, So to get your knee line, the standard size is normally between 18 to 20. So it depends on the measurement of your client. So the knee line can be between 18, 20, or even 21. But it's better if you can take the measurement of your client so that you'll be able to be precise. And you just need to take whatever measurement you have, subtract 2 for it from your measurement upward, so that there'll be space allowance to be free to walk. Let's assume that my knee length is 18. 18 minus 2 is going to be 16. So to cut the skirt, we are going to use the waist measurement divided by 16. Waist divided by 16. Since the waist is 40, we are going to divide 40 by 16. And this will give us 2.5. So this 2.5 is going to be the measurement we are going to get our different parts for these 8 pieces skirts. So assuming this is our diagram, for our skirt, don't mind my diagram. So the top here, this is our waist. So you will need to get the hip point. This is the hip. This is the waist. And here, somewhere here is your knee line. This is the waistline, hip line, and you have the knee line. So whatever you get, like I said, you have to come up by 2 inches. So this is where you now put your knee line. So this is your skirt now. This skirt is going to be in 8 parts. So that gives you the 8 pieces. You have 4 parts for the front and 4 parts for the back. So the waist we are going to use is 40 divided by 16, which is 2.5, to get the different parts for the skirt. We are going to fold this material into 4. So you are going to you need to determine how wide you want your flare. So it is this flare measurement that you are going to use to fold your material. So assuming you want 9 or 10 or 11, but in this case, I'm going to use 9 to fold. So, when you open it, it will become 18. So when you fold your material into 4, assuming this is your material, you fold it into 4. So I'm going to use, for purpose of illustration, I'm going to use A and B. This is the waist. This is where going to be the waist along this side. So for you to cut, you need your knee. So you need your hip line. This is your hip line. Then, like I said, you also need your knee line. So you'll be cutting your pattern along this line. And like I said, what we are going to be using to cut all the different parts is 2.5. So when you fold the material into 4, you start from this point. You measure your 2.5, assuming you have it here. Also on the hip, you also measure your, let's say, you measure your, this one is AB. Let's now call this point B1. Let's call this point C and D. Let's call this point E, F. Let's call this point G, H. So from point C, you take the 2.5 measurement, if it's here. So let's call this one D1. On the knee, assuming that you've come up by your 2, you will also take your 2.5. So let's call this one F1. So from this point now, you now trace the material down to where you have your 9 that you fold for your flare. So you now join, connect it, and like that. Then you are going to cut through B1, D1, F1 through there. So this is how you get the parts. And this part is for the center front. So it's going to be 2 pieces central front. And it is these 2 pieces that you're also going to use to cut your back. Now, if you want your back to have zip, to cut the back for your skirt, you will take one part of that center front that you have just cut, unfold. Then you now place it on this point. You know it's 2.5, so it will be on here, also on here, and on it will be like that. And you know it also extends to that point. So this is your front that you want to use to cut your back. That's to cut the back. The first one was the front. So this one I want to cut the back with zip. So you take the front, you lay it on top of, also the material under is going to be fold. You fold it in 2 because you also need 2 back skirts. You need a two for the back also. So when you lay it on here, from this point here, just add 1 inch for the zip allowance. You add it on the waist line, also on the hip line. You also add 1 inch. So when you come on the knee line, in order to get a shape for your, you can just, on this hip, you come down by 2. Just measure from the hip line, you get 2. Then on this point, instead of adding ½ inch, you just, instead of adding 1, on this point, after coming from the hip down by 2 inches, you should, you know, you've been adding 1, so you just add ½ inch. So you now trace it down. The essence of this is to enable you to be able, so that you won't have to be able to have a nice shape for your tracing. So you just trace it from here now. You trace it down here. So this is your back, and you also extend it there. So you are going to cut here, cut it through for your back. From here to here is the allowance. Is the allowance for your zip. So you cut it out, but while cutting, you first cut through, but you know you need just one part for the skirt. I mean, you just need one part for your zip. So you need to cut off, one part away. You need to cut just one. You know, by the time you fold it, it's going to be 4. So one part will be 2 pieces. So you need to cut 2 pieces, which is one part away. So that you now cut it from here, and that will be for your back. So that's how to cut for your back. Then to cut the sides now. So now we've got 2 pieces for your back, 2 pieces for your front. So we now need 4 pieces for your side. So now I want to cut the sides. And to now cut the sides, the measurement that we are going to use to cut the side is your measurement divided by 4. So waist equals 40 divided by 4 equals to 10. Then you now add 2 sewing allowance. Your hip is 44 divided by 4, which is 11. 11 plus 2. This one will give you 12, and this one will give you 13. Then for your knee, if you want to cut the side, what you will use to cut the side is just by taking away 4 from your hip measurement. So to get your knee, what you need to do is to subtract 4 from your hip measurement. So in this case, your hip measurement is 44. So 44 minus 4 is equals to 40. Then you now divide 40 by 4. This gives you 10. Then you now add 1. Instead of adding 2, you add 1. So the placement of the material now to cut your sides. So to cut your material now, the material you don't need to fold in this case. So assuming this is your material, so you now take one of that center front, you open it up. So when you open it up, it's going to be something like this. You see? Don't mind my drawing. So this is the center front that you open on top of another material. But when you want to lay it, make sure that you have the front facing the front of the other material. It's going to be like the front will be on top. The front is facing up, and it's facing the up another front. So you put the right side on the right side of the other material. So that's how you are going to place it. If not, you won't get it right. Okay, so you know the sides that we use, the parts that we use to construct all our different parts is 2.5. So take away 0.5 from it, it will remain 2. So now take these 2 for the two parts of the center front, which will be 2 plus 2, which is 4. So you are going to start your measurement from 4. Put your tape rule on this line, and like we said, you first of all also identify your waistline, your hip line, and your knee line. So your waistline, you start your measurement from 4. Put your tape rule, start your tape rule measurement from 4. So it's 4, 5, 6. You know, it was 10. Your waist was 10 plus 2. So you start 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 plus 2, 1, 2. So this point now is where your waist will be. So you also go on your hip line. You also start your measurement from 4, and your hip line is 11 plus 2. So start from 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 1, 2. So this point is where your hip line will be. So also for your waist, for your knee. So also for your knee, you start from on the knee line. You also start from 4. Your knee, we said, is 10. This time you add 1. So it's going to be 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Then you add 1. So your knee will be like this. So, but for the knee now, for you to cut it so that you can have a shape for it, you should go up by 1. In this case, go up by 1. So when you go up by 1, you will now add the, like we said, this one is 1, 2, you add only 1. So this will enable you to be able to trace your shape down. So it is just to be able to shape it. That's why you need. So this is how you will now cut your, you cut through this place, through here, that's where your side, and you cut here, and that will be the side. So this one now, you will now take this one, because in most cases the material will not be enough. So you now take this one and you will now place it on top of another one to cut the other 3 parts remaining for your skirts. I hope if you have enjoyed watching this instruction of how to cut 8 pieces flat skirts, please like and subscribe to my channel. So this instruction is going to be followed by how to cut it on the material.